Hello and welcome to our very first episode, Talks from Couch to Calculator. So you are literally joining in with our coffee and talks with myself and Jordan. So I'm an accountant and Jordan is a therapist, and we are going to have some very interesting conversations that we want you to join in on. We have got a sponsor of this episode and it is Fathom, and I'll tell you more about it later. But come on, join in. And if you've got any questions that you want us to answer at another episode, please get in touch. Thank you for listening. So tell me about your week.
Well.
So when did I last see you?
It was last week, wasn't it?
Thursday.
Thursday.
A week.
Yeah, a week exactly. I'm trying to think what I've done.
Tell me, yeah, because you went on live. How did that go? Because you did, that's your second one, didn't you? Did you see me jump on?
Yes, I did,
Yeah.
yeah. It was alright, to be fair. It's always chaos.
Yeah.
Because,
Me?
yeah.
Oh, shall I answer it?
If you want.
Do you mind? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, ma'am, this is Forrest from Phoenix.
No. Block. Do you do that?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I put it on vibrate now, my phone on vibrate, because Steve's dad's not very well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so his mum whittled to me about having my phone on so that she can call me in the night, right? Because Steve has his phone turned off.
Right.
So I was thinking, I can't do that. It's normally off. She says, oh, is your phone on through the night? So I told her about my vertigo, and I thought she was getting at, don't have the phone on because of all the radio, whatever, therapy or what.
No.
She's like, do you have your phone on? I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, good, I feel relieved that I can ring you at least in the night, but it's on silent.
Oh, no.
So I didn't have the art to say.
Well, I have mine on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
But I have like certain numbers that can come through the Do Not Disturb.
Oh, that's good. Well, I found a way around it.
Right.
So I've silenced all my, because you can imagine my notifications going off from all my posts.
Yeah.
So I've put them on silent and my phone on vibrate, which is a
Right.
good thing in case clients ring me in the day anyway.
Yeah.
But this is really bad, but I hardly miss a call because I'm on my phone that much.
Yeah.
That's really
surprising. I don't know,
Anyway.
I've never really been like that. Like now as well, I'll probably miss every call that comes through because I'm just like, as when I say I'm too busy, it's not even that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say about this last week is like, just like juggling all the things, trying to get back into work.
I know, because Hallie, she's 7 months.
She's 5.5
5.5 months.
Yeah.
And you're trying, you know what? Doing a live is hard work. Well, I've never done it on Instagram.
Yeah, well, I don't know, I suppose it depends what you're doing, doesn't it? Like, I was just doing a Q&A, and the thing is, I feel like it's just always chaos in the house. I mean, it's nice chaos, but...
Come on, it's not.
it isn't, it's nice stuff, but like George just operates in such a different way to me. Do you know what I mean? So like, I like to be a planner and organiser. I don't mind doing something spontaneously, but so we went to his mum and dad's for a barbecue.
Yeah.
And we were like, right, you know.
Is this on the bank holiday Monday?
Yeah, can we eat between 5:30 and 6 so that I can get back to do the live? And obviously like the food just wasn't ready, and it got to like, I think the food was ready at like 6:45, and obviously I was due to do the live at 7. So I took my headphones just in case. I don't even think I wore them, to be fair, but then it was like a rush around to set up quickly in the living room of their house to do the live.
You know what? Was you thinking to yourself though, I don't know if I want to, I can't bother.
A bit in the day, because that was a day when I just felt like, you know, when you're just having like a horrible day.
Everything's going wrong, everyone's annoying you.
Yeah, but it wasn't even for any particular reason. I just felt completely overwhelmed because I had so many like administrative things to sort. So stuff to sort with like getting back into work and like filling diary slots and trying to market and all the admin bits and bobs I have to do. Like even bits like when a client gets booked in by an insurance company, then how I put that into my own diary, send the email out with a Zoom link, make sure I'm telling them to do the form, stuff like that.
Oh, it's so much to think about.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like, it's just niff, naff and trivia, isn't it? But like car insurance is due for renewal on the 1st of September, and my granddad's is on my policy as well. Like, having to try and sort that out. And car insurance is fucking extortionate
Isn't
now,
it?
isn't
What
it?
did you,
It's
what
so
was it?
bad.
What did it charge you?
So because we need business use on our car now, £120 a month just for our car. Obviously George has only been driving like 18
Is that for both
months.
of you then?
Yeah.
So if you had separate ones?
Well, I was looking at getting a new car, just like a bog standard Corsa for October.
Don't get Corsas, they're a bloody nightmare.
Well, I found it to be I've had them before, I found it to be really reliable and cheap to run. But anyway, you got a quote for the insurance on that before I like fully committed. £50 a month just for me. For a Corsa. Insurance prices have absolutely
Well, I'm thinking that's pretty good.
No.
But I've lost touch with that because I've got my car through the company now, the electric car.
Yeah.
But I think our insurance was $800 for the year for me and Steve, so that's not cheap really,
no, it's
actually.
Not. It isn't.
And that's our own personal insurance, whereas
Yeah.
next time I'm going to put it through the business, I think.
Yeah, like 18 months ago when I had the Golf, my insurance was like £27 a month. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't realise, so I see what you mean.
Like, so it's just gone up exponentially, but it's the same for everyone, like everyone you speak to.
Everything's going on.
So I was trying to sort all those stupid shit jobs out, and then like the gas and electric tariffs.
And George won't be able to do it, no, that sounds bad.
No, but he's just,
But you're like me, Steve's actually really good, I have to admit, because he has like run his own household before, so it makes a difference. But I'm a bit of a control freak that needs to know, when's that coming out? And he
that's
goes,
part of the problem, isn't it? And knowing when it's up for renewal, so you can be on it and look for a good deal and stuff like that. But like sometimes you just don't have the energy for it, do you?
No, you
so I was like just getting overwhelmed by nothing, basically, and I was in such a fucking foul mood. And then
when you're in a bad mood, does everyone know about it?
Well, sort of. Like, I try not to be like that, but I can't help it.
Yeah, whereas I'm like, no one would know. Really.
If I was like coming, obviously I'll come to meet you and then I'll just meet. But if I had to go into an office with colleagues again, I could get myself together. But it's in my own house.
Oh yeah, so I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? So I just come downstairs trying to sort stuff out, like absolutely starving as well, because I'm not eating all day.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're hungry.
Do you know what I mean? So George was like, I'll make you some food. And I feel really sorry for him because he's like so accommodating, and he's there like, well, what can I do to make things easier? But like in my
I wish
head,
Steve would say that.
there's no resolution. So he like cleaned the kitchen, made lunch, was sorting the baby out, just doing everything else to try and help me.
You know what though?
And I'm just there like, it's so hard though, isn't it? Because then when you're out of that mood, then you can see like there's no need.
Bitch.
Yeah, there's just no need
mode.
to get so flustered about things like that. And like, especially as a therapist, but then sometimes when I'm in a really bad mood, that will feed into it. I'm like, well, you know, I can't even manage my own emotions, and I'm a therapist, I'm shit at my job, and then the spiral kind of goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what honestly, I love our conversations. Like, we have coffee dates a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
I live for them.
Yeah.
But we're very feely, thinky people. Deep thinkers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've worked out, right? I read something the other month or whenever it was. I thought I was an overthinker. I don't think I'm that. I think I'm a deep thinker, and apparently there's a difference.
Really?
Yes, because a lot of people are overthinkers but don't do anything, as in like they hold themselves back.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm a deep thinker. That's why it doesn't hold me back. So even though I'm doing the doing, I still think deeply about all those things.
I must be the same then, but maybe some people are both. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you can be an overthinker when you're a deep thinker.
Yes, there is definitely an element, because I'll go over conversations.
Yeah.
So you're live then, what happened? So you did it about 7. I think I saw the end of it, but it was a quicker one, wasn't it?
I think it was slightly quicker. Maybe it was like 10 or 15
How are you
minutes.
so chilled about it?
Because
I
I
show
can't
myself
not
up.
be, because I don't have time now. Do you
That's
know what I
good,
mean?
innit?
I just think to
Yeah.
myself, well, if it's shit, it's shit.
Yeah.
If no one comes on, it's fine. Then it just gets added to the grid, and then maybe some people will see it after. Like, if people think it's shit, they think it's shit. Like, and if people like it, they like it. Like,
Yeah.
And it's like we've said before, like, you're not going to be for everyone.
No.
And that's fine, and you don't want to be for everyone either.
Yeah.
So really, if I just like, if you're authentic, if I'm just myself, if I just do what feels normal rather than really, I said I'm a planner and over planner, but with that, I was just like, well, no, I'll just write my questions down so I've got them there. And obviously I had a rough idea of what I might say, but I didn't write down.
Yeah, because people are actually feeding you questions, aren't they, and you're answering them, because it's not like you're going on there going, oh, you know, some people actually like watching people do nothing.
Yeah.
Watch me pack for the day.
Well, I love things like that. I love
I've heard this loads of
lifestyle
times.
YouTube videos. Like, they're my absolute favourite.
So I've been through a few hairdressers, and she said she likes watching Come Pack With Me from a holiday, right? I say that to Steve.
Yeah.
People don't really care about things that you think, the educational stuff necessarily.
No.
Which they do to a point, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're actually nosy.
Well, yeah, because if you think what you like yourself...
Well, I do go off on that.
Well, we like to get to know people personally. You want to know, like, well, they look like they're doing X, Y, and Z. Like, how do they do that?
Yeah.
You know, me now, as like a new mum or whatever, now I'm just obsessed with content of people, like mums that are business owners or mums that are doing things. So I want to know, like, how do you juggle it all?
Yes.
And there's never, like, a right answer. And with everyone, it's kind of a sense of, like, there's always a compromise, isn't there? Like, you're going to feel guilty if you're not with your baby. You've got to do some work, or like, I enjoy the work, but at the same time I'm feeling guilty that I'm not with Hallie or spending enough time with Hallie.
Yeah, I feel
and that's
guilty.
another thing I was crying about the other day. Was that, you know, like crying like to George, saying, "Oh, I'm not spending enough time with Hallie now. I'm trying to get back into work," and he was just like, "What are you talking about?" Like, he just was like, "You're with her all the time." And I was like, "Well, I'm not anymore because I've got less full days."
I get, God,
so it's about perspective, isn't it?
So you've got a 5.5-month-old, and I've got a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old, right? Yeah. And I'll be really honest, I have mum guilt a lot, which is normal. Yeah. But when I started the business nearly 5.5 years ago, so Bella was what then? I can't do the maths. Funny enough, I'm the accountant. So Bella was what, 13? Yeah. And Luca was 9, 10.
Yeah.
And I basically told them, Mummy's going to be working a lot.
Yeah.
Even more than probably what I was working a lot in different ways. But a lot of work goes on in my head and on social media.
Yes.
So even though it can look like I'm not working, there's a plan and a strategy behind it. Yeah. But I just don't know where it's necessarily going to lead yet.
Yeah.
So it's really freaking hard, isn't it?
And that's the exhaustion as well, isn't it? Even when you're not actually sat in front of your laptop working or in a meeting, there's so much going on in your head when you've got your own business. Yeah. And that for me I found really frustrating in a way, coming off maternity leave, because I feel like obviously it's only been 5.5 months, and like the last month as well I was starting to think about what I need to get ready for work, what I need to do. And it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But like, I feel like when you're employed and you've got a salary, you know the date you're going back, there's more of a sense of like, I don't need to think about getting back to work until that day. Obviously there'll be some anticipatory anxiety, but it's a case of like the work's just going to be there when I arrive. Whereas when you're self-employed, there's a build-up. It's like, I need to make sure the work's there, because if it's not, I can start work and there'll be nothing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. No, but then also, at least I'm not going back to a 9 to 5, having to put Hallie in nursery full time. Like, some people do have to do that. Yeah. And that's hard. Yeah. So it's all hard.
Choose your heart.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Choose your hard. Shut up.
I know. I always say to my clients,
I wrote a post about it.
Yeah, pick your poison. Like,
oh my God, it's so funny, because I love the cringy sayings. I do, but they are cringe.
Accurate. Cliches come from, you know, like collective experiences and knowledge, don't they?
I love a good feely.
Yeah.
A good feely post. This week's been, I went to Meadow Hall on Saturday with Lisa DeSantis, my little copper friend. Yeah. So we went there, and so obviously you know about the Vertigo episode. Frigging
you said about that last
week. So I saw you the Thursday, that happened the week before. So at the cinema, right, went to see It Ends With Us.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, right.
I can't remember if it was you that told me about this or someone else who's mentioned it.
Oh, come in.
You're not live here?
Yeah.
No, we're not live.
You'll have to speak. We're on a podcast.
Oh yeah.
No, is that for? Do you want to go in the other room and give it to Claudia?
Everything.
Yeah. Thanks, Michelle. Love it. I couldn't see properly because I ain't got my glasses on. So I was like, what was Claudia popping her head through?
I didn't know you were that. Like.
Yeah, I'm blind.
Your glasses are
Stick them on.
absolutely.
They're filthy.
Jesus Christ.
Is it making it wobbly?
Oh, that's so.
Is it?
Intense.
But to me, it's like, that's a.
Well, obviously.
Oh God, yeah. But I always think they're not that strong. Obviously,
they are quite. I mean, mine are like a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm minus 1.75.
Oh my God.
What are you?
I don't know.
I read that. I've got it tattooed on my
I'm
arm.
-1.7. I don't fucking know.
Right, this is another thing, right? I remember
Yeah.
the details of people. So listen to this. I had a prospect meeting with Dan. Dan's a bit renowned for not remembering everything, which is fine. I had a prospect meeting with them.
Yeah.
Relayed it back to June.
Yeah.
And then Dan was watching me, and I knew the details of, and I relayed it off.
Yeah.
And a week later, I'd still be able to put it on a document.
Yeah, I'm like that with certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
some
right,
things.
though.
Yeah.
So other things
like
are not.
I will notice so much when I'm out and about. So I've got a joke with my best friend Roxanne, and she's like just not observant. She won't notice something that's right in front of her face because she's just like bimbling along. And I notice everything.
Well, you know
like
what I do.
all the people that are around me. Like when I'm in the car, I notice this and that, and all sorts. Like cars. Georgia says to me like, "Why do you know what every car is?" So he'll say, "That's a nice car," and I'll go, "Yeah, that's a
3 litre.
yeah, Jeep Renegade." And he's like,
That's actually weird.
and then George, his just go to is like, "You're such a geek," and I'm like, "I'm not a geek."
No, it's not
very
geeky.
observant.
Yeah, it's great. So anyway, went to watch that film, right? So 20 minutes in, Blake Lively, oh my god, she is stunning. I can't believe it.
Is that the blonde one?
She's like redhead.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if that's natural or she's naturally blonde and they made that happen.
I got mixed up with them, but they're both in Gossip Girl, aren't they?
I don't know.
I think so.
Don't know,
I
she's
think I know
stunning.
what about.
Good figure on her, not skinny, just nice shape. She's had 4 kids. So I don't know why I do this. I'm like, oh, respect to her, doing back filming.
Yeah.
This, that, the other. Anyway, watching the film, it's got a lot of sex in it.
Has it?
Yeah, but I was gutted because 20 minutes in, I was like, oh my, I had to watch the floor and just flick my eyes up now and again watching the film. So obviously I'm still the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
And at one point, Lisa was oblivious because I said to Lisa at one point, oh, did he just hit her? And she was like, oh yeah. And she was thinking, well, how did you miss that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I told her afterwards, she was like, you should have told me. I'd nearly left.
Yeah.
But because it was intriguing to watch, obviously I just kept like flicking up.
You're
so I'll have
so
to watch it
funny.
again.
You're so funny, like
Why?
because you soldier on with everything. Like even at the cinema, you've got vertigo.
I was
you
sweating.
can't go
I
home.
was like, ooh.
You're so funny. Whereas I'm the opposite. Literally, I probably wouldn't have got to the cinema because I'd have been.
I know,
like,
I started feeling it
I
before.
don't feel right. I can't go to the cinema. I'm the complete opposite to you.
I don't know why I do that. Why do I do that, do you think?
You've got this.
Because you're the therapist of therapy me.
Oh God, don't put pressure on me.
No.
I don't know everything.
You say this to me all the time. You're so funny because I will just. You know, remember that time I had COVID, and you said you wouldn't know from your stories, and I was really poorly. But I soldiered on, shared that I had COVID, carried on because that gives me energy.
It does, but also there's something in you, isn't there, that needs to do what you've said you're going to do.
Yeah.
It needs to complete things.
Yes, I do.
Like, not to get too deep, but
Yeah.
I've been talking, I've got a lot of clients at the minute and I'm recognising traits in myself, but
Yeah.
you see it everywhere. Like perfectionism. For a lot of people, not just perfectionists, and women in particular, it's so, well, men as well, lots of people nowadays, our worth is very much tied to our achievements and productivity levels.
Yeah.
So if we're not being productive, achieving things, ticking things off, then we can just feel shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's toxic productivity, isn't it, at the end of the day? We're in a culture where, unless we're doing, achieving, ticking things off productive, we feel lazy, we don't feel good enough. It's a real
so
art.
true.
Yeah, it's a real art to actually allow yourself to rest and be okay with it and have like a regulated nervous system.
Yeah.
And I'm not speaking as a person that has that.
Yeah, that's so true. I
Which
do it
is
all the time.
Ironic, but true.
I know. And I got to the end, and even Lisa was like, "You divvy, you should have just said to me."
Yeah.
But I was not giving up. So we
Yeah.
sat there watching, and as soon as I got out, I had 10 minutes to get to the train. So I'm rushing around again.
Where were you?
Meadowhall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Meadow.
Yeah.
Meadowhall. Right, I am so excited to announce that the sponsor of this podcast is Fathom. So Fathom is a cash flow forecasting tool that every business needs. If you have a digital software like Xero or QuickBooks, you plug it in, you do analysis in Fathom, and it's an amazing way of keeping up to date with your future forecasting and making decisions with your business. I actually like explore. I'm pushing myself out to get out a bit more at the weekends and stop, because I do a lot of training, obviously. Did that for the day, and then what happened Sunday? Oh my God, not Sunday. So Steve's idea, because that's it. I said, Steve, what we're doing then, because he's very easy. I've told you this before, but he's just happy to sit at his laptop and work, or just chill watching a program or whatever, which is fine. But I said, oh, what should we do then? Because we have no kids, and he says, oh, should we go to the Peaks? Because I've been saying to him for ages.
Oh my God, a little post. Oh God.
We're like city goers going to the Peaks. It wasn't right. I moaned all the time because I needed a pee, and there was no toilet. We went the wrong way. Honestly.
Where did you go? Like what area?
Went to Froggatt, and it's near Curber, Curbar, Derbyshire obviously, but it said Peak District, National Trust Peak District, Froggatt. There was 3 of them, and was trying to walk through. Did about 2.5 hours walking.
Right.
And I held my wee in for 4 hours because I don't wee outside. He's like, just do it. I'm like, no, I won't. I'll hold it. If I had to, really desperate, yes, I would. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm like, oh no, lady. So I think it. But Steve's shoes. I says, why are you wearing them? He had the white, just I don't know, everyday shoe, not even a trainer. You know the more small ones you wear with jeans.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing them? You're all right. So he's too cool to wear proper trainers, So I looked a bit like a walker.
That. Yeah. He wouldn't put like, you know, hiking shoes.
No, he wouldn't wear them, but he didn't even put like his sports shoes with a bit of grip. He just put his slippy like.
Why?
Because he's like, oh, I'm not messing them up. I'm like, why? They're slippy, honestly. And then he's took us down this wrong way. Then we're going down into the forest with like a walk through like this, and we're like. Then there was a bog, and he was trying to climb over. I said, right, no, we're going back, because I need to know there's an endpoint in safety. And whereas he was a bit more adventurous than I thought. And I was
can't cope with the uncertainty.
No, I really struggled with it.
I'm a bit like that. Like, I wouldn't really enjoy not knowing a route, you know, not knowing the way, and like, I know, but I am pushing boundaries, because we did do something new, and then we went out for a lunch, which was really nice. It is funny though, isn't it? Because you're both like real into fitness and like, but not that, like not hiking. That's not your regular.
No, or biking or hiking or it's very. So obviously we do high rocks.
Yeah.
What is it? Very planned fitness, maybe.
Yeah.
Not just let's go for a good long hike or a big country bike ride.
Yeah.
Whereas some families. There was families with the kids all hiking together. I was like,
I know.
How?
I like envy and admire people that take their babies out.
They're taking babies out in the carriers.
Oh my God.
I pushed her at one point. I was like, how are they getting that around? So he was like, oh, well, maybe they didn't come down the harder route like us, sort of thing. I'm like, they'll know the area.
I just couldn't imagine doing that. Like, George would probably reluctantly agree, but he's not naturally an outdoorsy person.
No.
And he's so clumsy. Like, there'd be an accident. Do you know what I mean? Like you couldn't trust him because of how clumsy he is to have Hallie on his back. Yeah. Because he'd like topple over or...
Oh no, we're talking about toppling over. I had my backpack. I was like 3 bottles of water, 4 protein bars in it, 2 bananas, this, that, the other. Had it on. Not once did Steve offer to put it on his back. Because it's too cool.
No, it's not that. I feel like with Steve, we've been through this before.
You have to tell him.
You won't ask. Like, if you'd said, Steve, put this bag on, he'd have probably gone,
he'd have done it.
All right. But you're there, like, probably huffing and puffing like I would be, waiting for him to go, oh, you look like you're struggling, I'll have that. But they don't.
It's funny because, as women, I think we struggle to say what we want.
Yeah. We expect
want them to be mind
read, and it's so unfair.
Yeah, but the movies, they mind read.
Well, fuck the movies.
I know, if you watch, honestly...
It's so damaging, isn't it?
On that, it ends with us, the guy who turns out to be a domestic violence person. Great. So obviously this isn't a good example.
Yeah,
but they're trying to woo her and all this, that, the other. You think, oh God, he's a bit of a bad boy, but with a soft image on about him. I know.
Oh, no.
So toxic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the bad boy's pulling her in and doing all the things that you think, ooh.
Yeah.
And then actually, that's not reality. It never has been.
Well, it's like I was caught an episode while I was at the Macmillans the other day. After the bar, no, we'll have tea another night, obviously, of Love is Blind UK.
Oh yeah, I watched it all.
Seen that? So I just caught an episode, but there's the absolute idiot on it. What's his name? Sam.
Sam. Oh my god.
What a horrible, sleazy, inauthentic individual. Terrible.
That was very polite.
He's a fucking idiot, isn't he? Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You made me cringe.
Do you know what? And I said, yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to put people like that on. Like, I know it makes for good entertainment, which is part of the problem, isn't it? Because he's so toxic. And then that poor girl, that the nice guy tried to warn, has got, I didn't know because I didn't watch that far, but Bev was on about it, has got lured into then, you know, putting her trust into this absolute fucking knob.
Yeah.
And I know you can't intervene in real life, but I just think, like, should they really be putting people like that in there? Like,
I'm like, yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
You love a villain, don't you? You need a villain. But I mean, like, it is real people.
Let's forget all that about Freddie.
Which one's that?
Pick one. Steve would kill me if he was listening to this.
Is that the one they got coupled off first?
Yeah, the big blue eyes with Catherine.
I don't know the names. I've watched one episode.
Oh, you've only watched one?
Yeah, but it was like, I'm not going to
even
watch it all. Like, I have time for it.
I know, you have to make time for the thing. Oh no, it's reality. I know, and this is, so we don't watch much telly, apart from Love Island, because it's mind-numbing.
Yeah.
I can play on my phone a little bit.
Yeah.
And Love is Blind UK is a new thing that's not been on before, but that's what I watched.
I do love stuff like that, but genuinely at the minute, because Hallie isn't in bed at 7.
No, not yet. Yeah, I get it.
We're not quite there, so when she's got like a set bedtime, then like I'll be all over the TV.
You know what though? Luca, I can't remember Bella. Luca's 15 now, obviously. He used to go to bed at 6:30.
Yeah, and get up when?
5:30. But I couldn't keep him up because I worked full time.
Yeah.
So the full day, picked him up from nursery, let's say 5.
Yeah.
They'd given him his tea.
Yeah.
Honestly, trying to keep him awake, but then he'd be up at 5:30. But for me, that's absolutely all right.
I could deal with that.
Yeah. You could do it.
George will listen to this and say, you don't get up in the morning, it's me that does.
Oh, yeah.
I got up at 9 o'clock this morning.
Lazy bitch.
Well, sorry, I was up in the night.
Oh my god.
Because George got up with her at 6 and just left me in bed, but then he's laughing again this morning because he came up, he was like, it's 9 o'clock. I was like, 9 o'clock?
That ruined my day.
I was like, I haven't got time to walk the dog. And he was like, right, calm down. And I was like, but me and Fran at 10 at night, it's going to take me 20 minutes to get ready.
Maybe you needed it though.
But George underestimates how long everything takes, which is why we end up late, whereas I like to overestimate and have a nice chunk of time.
Yeah.
So that is a big cause of stress at times, the way he operates in the opposite way to me.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god. So hang on, did you wake, so you must have woken up at 6 or 5?
Yeah, I woke up at like 10 to 6 when Hallie woke up. But George got up with her.
Yeah, so you was like, oh, thank God, I'll get back to sleep.
Yeah, I wait with my eyes closed.
Yeah. Playing, please get up, please.
Just waiting, yeah.
Please.
And then I get out of bed and I go,
but
sprawl out.
I had to do it all, and to be honest, I still think sometimes it's better to be single to deal with things at times.
Yeah, because it's easy.
That's
because
all I know.
It's one person's way of doing things.
Yeah.
And I've got friends as well who have, had a partner and then they've split up. And a lot of them have said, like, actually it's easier on your own.
You say that though.
It's about the control element though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just your way. So that's what it's about, not having to negotiate or someone say, no, I'm not doing that, or no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
So obviously being on my own doing that, but now I know, because obviously I had bad boys in the past and the kids are my dad and kids' dad sort of thing. But with Steve, now I know what he's like as a dad. I'm like, God, this is really helpful.
Yeah.
He's so helpful.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's another thing though. So I was listening to a podcast yesterday, Dirty Mother podcast. It's amazing.
Oh,
so
I've
good.
heard of that one.
It's really good. But
well, what's that on about?
Well, it's just like motherhood and
just natural chats again.
Yeah, all that kind of thing. But they were talking about how people say, like, I will say, like, oh, George is so hands-on, he's so helpful, he does loads. And I'm grateful for it, really grateful. But, like, no one says that about mums. Like, shouldn't that just be...
No, that's just their job.
Yeah, like, shouldn't that just be the norm? Like, why do we have to be like that? Why do we have to go, like, so grateful they're hands-on, like... And it's hard because I do feel that, but we're socialised to think that it's a choice for men. So if they are hands-on and they help, then they're great, and they are. I'm not taking that away from them, but like, should it be expected like it is with us? Because like, people don't go, Jordan's such a hands-on mum, she does loads for Hallie.
It's expected.
If I wasn't doing it, then people would, some people would.
It's the old-fashioned way though. It's expected of mums, and the dads are just there as a guide.
Yeah, so when they're
dads call
good,
themselves
it's like
babysitters.
people don't stop talking about it, and
I get that.
And there's like praise and stuff, but shouldn't that just be the benchmark? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Like it is for us. So that's pissed me off.
Yeah.
Not against George, but just like generally.
Yeah,
because again,
so
I just
true.
feel like there's still so much expectation from women. Like, we're still expected to work and do all of the things, but we're also expected to just be the best parents as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas with men, it's like, if they're not hands-on, people go like, oh yeah, that's shit, isn't it? Like, their workloads, and they do a bit, they do the best. And if they are hands-on, it's like, do you know, they're amazing, they're such a hands-on dad, and they do everything, they change nappies. Yeah. And you're like,
I know, you say like that.
Fucking should as well.
I know, because for me, I wanted to get a career as much as a father would. For example, I'm the one that goes out to work. I think I've always wanted to be like that. I am a strong character, probably a more alpha male. I don't know if that's the term for me, maybe not. But I wanted to go out to work.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, it's like, it is meant to be the mum's job to not do that.
Yeah, I feel like
that's changing.
It is.
Massively
and like
changing.
I say, I think now people expect that, women will probably go to work, but they also need to be doing the lion's share of the caring. I mean, that isn't necessarily the case in our house, to be fair, which is brilliant. And I don't, I've been careful because I don't want to take anything away from dads, but at the same time, like, if we were on a level playing field, like, how come we're not hyping up mums as well? Like, God, they're so hands-on, they do. We don't do that because that's expected.
Yeah, it is.
And for dads, it's sort of like an optional extra.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to really slag you off too much if you're mostly at work and you miss bedtime.
I reckon it's going to change more in the future, where it is literally 50-50.
Well, I think it should.
Yeah.
It should. And I think there is a shift, but
Definitely
they were talking about that, and I just thought that's so fucking true, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like the expectations on women.
Well, it's same in the professional world,
Yeah,
isn't it? Men are like, get paid more.
Yeah.
They come across more professional. They know more.
Yeah.
Actually, women are really good with customer care, and that goes a long way in professional services.
I just think women are just fucking elite.
I know.
We're just elite beings. I'm sorry to say.
I struggle to admit that.
We're so good at multitasking.
I know, that is so true,
and
but I struggle with that.
Done. Like, we're just so good at it.
I know.
Do you know
to be
what I mean?
honest, and we can earn as much money as a man, if not more.
Yeah, but there is still that, some of that.
Men don't like, I know, and I remember Steve saying this to me when we met. He said, because I did struggle to meet anyone, but I kept myself to myself, so that's my own thing. But he did say, do you think you intimidate men? He said, you don't intimidate me, and I thought, do you think it's, an intimidation thing, because I'm a strong character? I got called bossy before as well. I
think it depends on the man, doesn't it? Because obviously we've got to be careful, like, stereotyping all men, because there are some, like, really good men out there.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Aren't there? But we're talking about that general kind of, the gender roles that still exist and traditional viewpoints and stuff. And I think, it's so, we've spoken about this before, haven't we? Like, women getting branded, like, too much, if you like, a bit overconfident. Like, you've got to be confident and believe in yourself, but don't be arrogant. Yeah. Like, and it's so hard to tread that.
Look good, but not too sexy, because you might be asking for it.
Yeah. It's just
post a selfie, but if you show too much, you're showing off.
Yeah.
It's like I like posting content. I've not done as much, but my fitness and showing the crop top, leggings, and doing a selfie, and men assume it's for them.
Yeah.
When you get the odd inbox, not everybody.
The male gaze.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
And I like girls that go, oh, how'd you get a body like that after having kids? That's the audience I was after.
Yeah.
But it's still some people will be thinking, oh, look at her showing off. She wants.
You're always going to get that. Some women will think that as well.
Yeah,
like,
they do.
There's always going to be people, but I think, and again, it's something we've discussed before, isn't it? We'll probably discuss more. But when people react to you in that way, it's it's them projecting their insecurities onto you. Like, why do we need to do that? Why do we need to pick at other people and like tear them down and stuff? More often than not, it's because it's like, why are people bothered? Usually because it's brought out something in them. You know, they're annoyed because they can't do that, or they think they can't do it. You know, like, oh, good for her, she's got time to do that. Well, I haven't.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
She's obviously sat doing nothing. That's what I get. Well, I don't get it a lot. I've had comments like that on my social media, but LinkedIn, I got a comment last week. So what I've been doing on my LinkedIn now is sharing weekly, this is my weekend in pictures.
Yeah.
Right? So I've been doing that for about 2 months on LinkedIn. I've just introduced it to Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And one guy on LinkedIn actually wrote, why have you shared this? This isn't Facebook. And then I thought, I'll look at his LinkedIn. So I looked at his LinkedIn. He had no posts. He shared one post a year ago.
Oh, God.
Right? So I was like, I really appreciate the advice. I didn't know where I was for a minute. I'll look at your post for inspiration. Right? So he knows. Then he replied, well, I wouldn't share personal stuff. What's that got to bring?
Piss off.
And then anyway,
Don't
a few LinkedIn people from my following
They do,
combated it by calling him out.
Because what's the point? There's no need.
Because
there's a lot of that on LinkedIn, isn't there?
There is, and I've been on there's a Reddit page calling LinkedIn. I made it in a month, and I was like, and at first I was like, oh shit, I'm being watched and called.
Oh, what? Like, it's in a nasty way?
Yeah, like yeah, you just want like, I think it was my weekend photos again, screenshotting it, and I had a selfie on there. Yeah, there's a few content creators on there, so it's a good thing. I know that sounds bad, but it's actually a good thing.
It is horrible, isn't it? That's like the toxic, nasty corners of the internet.
Oh, they're so nasty. Makes them feel better.
Can you imagine the sort of people?
Imagine working with them as a client.
Well,
you probably need to. They need to come to Jordan.
Can you imagine being that sort of person, though?
Ugh.
You know, that spends their time. And this is the thing, isn't it? Like, we've said this before, who you spend your time with, how you spend your time, and doing what kind of thoughts you're having and what you're saying. Yeah. Like that horrible, toxic, negative mindset. Like,
I know.
It doesn't make you feel good. They're not going to feel good.
No.
Being filled with like resentment and.
I can't believe that. Yeah, their lives must be so crap. Doesn't make for a happy existence,
does it? Like.
Oh, how did you get on today, darling? Well, I just saw this silly bitch on LinkedIn and thought I'd make a post about it on Reddit. I've been on Reddit
for 10 hours slagging everyone off. Like. Fuck's sake.
I know, it's negative. I hate negative behaviours, but at least I'm giving stuff a go.
How did you find out you were on it?
Because, which I found this a bit odd, but a guy that's been following me for years, because I recognise his name and stuff, inboxed me, just thought you should know, I've seen you on Reddit. And I says, I don't really care. Yeah. Oh, he's like, good response. But obviously then an hour later I was like, I'm going to look on Reddit. My heart was racing like this, finding it. No. And you know what? Because I noticed other people on LinkedIn that I know of, it made me feel better. So I thought, well, they're doing
I'm not alone in this.
I'm not alone in this.
I mean, obviously.
I wouldn't inbox someone if I saw them on Reddit.
Yeah.
I personally would go, I'm not going to tell that person, because that's a shit site.
Yeah. It depends on your personality, doesn't it?
It is. Would you want to know? Would you want me to let you know if I saw it?
I don't know.
Would you tell me? Do you know what I mean? It's really awkward, isn't it?
It is weird, isn't it?
Maybe we would.
I think we would, because I don't know.
We know each other.
You're friends with someone, you see something, you don't want to keep it from them, even if it's not nice information.
Yeah.
But again, it's that needing to know everything, isn't it?
I know, and it's ruining your day.
There's no value from it, is there?
No.
There's no point checking up on negative things or. I mean, that's what celebrities get, isn't it? Like from an extreme level, when you're in a spotlight, and this is why a lot of people don't want to put themselves out there, because it's that fear of judgment. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen,
but it's awful. And
it's just nasty when people really go at you overtly. Like people slagging you off behind the scenes, you're never gonna know about it. And it is what it is. It will happen. But
I wonder that's why people don't dare share a thought, a feeling, their view.
Yeah.
Because it gets trodden down and they feel silly.
100%.
And I've been there, but now I do it more so.
Well, we were saying that about this podcast, weren't we? Like a bit worried, because we're just going to chat like we usually do. And, but what if we say something that people don't like? Well, we're
not actually editing this whatsoever.
No, because, being honest, being genuine, authentic, vulnerable, that attracts your tribe.
Yeah, it is.
Not to be cliche, but it does, doesn't it? And then people that don't like you, well, I think it comes with age and maturity and learning, doesn't it? But, in the early days you want to be liked by everyone, but actually that isn't helpful,
exactly
is it?
That.
You don't want
not.
you know, we want certain types of clients because we work best with them. You know, you want certain type of following of like similar people that are supportive and positive, and you can bounce off one another. You have similar energy, so it's the same. But
it's like yesterday when I said about our podcast, and I was like, I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna write. Looking for sponsors, get in touch. Yeah. Even if it gets nowhere.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, and we could shout out businesses and add them to it for free anyway. Yeah. Do you know, just to help all the businesses if we really want to. Yeah, Liberty's Coffee. Yeah, no, definitely. And I just think that was brave, and many don't do that because the ones that are doing it, it's easy to look at them and go, God, I can't believe how they dare ask for money, sponsorship, charity work.
Or you think, yeah, but they've got this following their success, so it's okay for them to do it. But how did they get there?
Exactly that. Be brave. That's what I did say, is be brave. And
it's like content creation, isn't it? You know, I'm doing these lives. I think on the Monday just gone, I think 4 people were left on it. Yeah. And they were all like my friends and family, obviously. But like they were saying, somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. And also I just thought, well, it's another piece of content that if potential clients or people that are looking to follow people, they'll look and they'll be able to get to know me and what I'm like a bit more, and they can follow or not based on that.
If people get used to you going live every Monday for 6 months, for example, have it as a project, but you promote it before and after, actually by the end of 6 months, see what happens. Even if you get 20 viewers, we're going to tune in. But it's a hard one because people watch it on replay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but it's a lot of, it is effort. Social media, it's a lot harder.
It's easy to give up at that point, isn't it? And I think that's what the majority of people do. And what I've done in the past, not necessarily for that reason, but just because I think, I haven't got time. Is just think, oh God, that's embarrassing. I've only got like one person on. But it's not. You just got to keep going. Whether there's people there or not. And it's about like why you're doing it, isn't it? I'm not doing it to be an influencer or to gain loads of followers. I'm doing it so that I can build my like portfolio so that people can go on and have a look and see what I'm like and decide like, are you the therapist for me or not? Like, no, probably not. Yes. Like what you're like personally and whatever. It's important.
And that's it. That's the difference, because I like being on social media to influence as well. Without it being it is kind of an influencer, I suppose. And why not as well?
I think it's fine your
aspect,
to that point.
Get to a point where you want.
And maybe at some point I'm like, if I did get a following, that's exciting. I'm not saying I don't want to follow it.
No, I know you're not.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, but it's not a viral post.
But that's not the point of it. Do you know what I mean? If that doesn't come from it, that's fine.
Well, that's exactly on LinkedIn. So I started back in 2019. No idea what I was doing or where it was going to go. Just about sharing the journey of starting an accounting practice. Oh my God. And obviously most of my following on there is accountants and bookkeepers. And then actually, the more you get followed, the more you want it. It's a dopamine hit.
Exactly.
I'll be honest, and it does get addictive. And you start thinking, and that's all you can think about. But I've calmed down from that, and obviously I've changed direction massively on all sorts of different platforms.
But you learn as you go along, don't you? Like, it's funny, isn't it? Because I know that like you've posted old content sometimes as a contrast, and you'll look back and you'll be like, oh my God, back then I was like shocking or whatever. Even though you weren't, people still wanted to follow you, but you just like settled into it more, you grow and change, and like you say, your direction changes.
It does, and people who knew you back in 2019, because I'll be honest, when you start out, others will be excited for you at the beginning. You'll meet new people, but then they drop off. What's that all about?
I suppose it's like trends, isn't it? Like, it's new, exciting and fresh.
I know, but I feel like as I've grown and got team members joining the Future Cloud, people then go,
Well, again, maybe, who knows, but like one of the things I'd like hypothesise is maybe people then don't want to know when you're a bit bigger because they feel like it's that classic, isn't it? Like we were on about earlier. It's ignited something in them. Like, I'm not good enough now.
But do you reckon I've made them feel like that?
No, it's never really us. You know, unless you're being nasty to someone or.
I've never been nasty to anyone.
You're the opposite.
I know, and I think, but then that's where maybe my deep thinking or overthinking comes in. When I'm like, I'm not over them from ages. Actually, and I'll reach out, and then it just cuts off, and I'm thinking, oh right.
I'm the same as well. Like I tend to overcompensate, and I want to make sure people are okay with me and haven't upset them. But I feel like, you know, the older I've got, and obviously, you know, the therapy work and stuff. Now sometimes I have to step back and go, no, it is a two-way street, and it's okay. Like it's fine. You haven't done anything wrong. You've not been nasty. Like.
I know, and loads of people will stay with old friendships because I've known them since school, and
out of obligation and stuff like that. But reasons and seasons for people, for sure.
Oh, I like that saying.
Yeah.
Well, I love your little cliche sayings.
Oh no, I'm knocking them out all the time.
I'm trying to think of another one now. I'm like, ooh, what's coming out of the woodwork? No, I love it.
I know.
What have you got on today then? Have you got your meetings booked in, or?
Potentially, I'll have to check my emails because I had a couple of chats that were maybe going to happen.
Yeah, this is your private stuff, not through insurance.
Yeah, well, this is actually a bit of affiliate work, so doing work for. I'll shout Laura Greenwood Therapy out. Her company is like a specialist in like helping parents and
birth trauma.
Well, that, but like maternal mental health, paternal mental health.
Yeah,
just
that's
like
a thing,
empowering
isn't it?
parents. Yeah. So I'm an affiliate for her. So potential conversation for a potential client today.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I need to check my emails.
Yeah, I know. I've got a few things I need to do. I'm actually going to. Normally, I train in the morning in the gym.
Yeah.
I've actually put it in my diary to train this afternoon, and it's silly.
Let's get it out of the way.
I like to get it out of the way, but I didn't.
Like
I can't believe I haven't gone this morning. Steve still went at 7:30.
Really?
Yeah. Because I wanted a slow morning because of this. I allowed myself.
Yeah.
But I get nervous about putting it in my diary in case I get a client call or the team leaving it, and I feel like
treat it as an appointment as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is what I advise to everyone else. So it's like, and the team see my diary.
Yeah.
And I've put gym in. And I would let them do the same if they wanted to. Do you know that someone bothered about the gym, which is fine.
Yeah.
Or put a walk in, just have a break.
Yeah.
So I've always done that, but it always feels like I shouldn't.
Yeah. I want to get back to exercise and actually get back to exercise.
Yeah.
I walk the dog, that's about it at the minute.
Yeah.
But George literally messaged yesterday saying, I think we both need to make some time for movement.
Yeah.
A couple of times a week to de-stress.
He needs it for his energy.
He does, yeah.
It helps mine.
And it just helps you just feel better, de-stress.
Yeah.
And I find as well, funny actually, going back to the beginning, feeling overwhelmed, whatever day it was.
Yeah, was it after the Monday?
Yeah. What day? It was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. But I know when I'm working out regularly in some form, not just walks, that I don't get like that. Don't get like that. When I was like working a lot and lived on my own, obviously I'd come to boot camp.
When you were raking it in.
Yeah, gone to those
Before
days.
the kids
Goodbye.
and everything.
Yeah, I would feel so good, and it would. If I had 7 clients in a day, 7. That is so much.
So lot.
It's so overwhelming.
Friggin' hell.
I'd feel a bit anxious, but then if I went to boot camp or the gym or something in the morning, it just wouldn't feel like a big deal.
Never.
Like after that, I'd think, good day. I'll be fine. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But in the absence of that, like, I don't know, I feel like it's just a really good circuit breaker, isn't it? We know this.
Yeah.
But we don't, obviously you do prioritise it.
Yeah.
But it's so easy, like for me, that's like the last thing on the agenda. And it should be the first. Like it's the foundation of well-being, like decent diet, movement, connection with others.
It's so dull at times,
Rest.
some people. I do it, obviously, obviously you can follow us on Instagram and whatever else, because you started posting a bit more as well, haven't you?
Yeah. I still can't figure out how to save a live reel to post on.
I think you did it.
I did it. It's posted on Instagram, but
you
I can't download
it.
I don't know if that's even possible. I've tried, but anyway.
You can, show me after this. I'll have a look with you. I'm sure it is possible,
So annoying.
but it might not be because it's been alive. But yeah, we'll have a look at that because it's good to share across different platforms.
Yeah, definitely.
So we will catch up again next week.
Yeah.
And will you go to the gym then before then, so you can share that you've been? This is a bit of accountability for you.
Look at you.
I know, under pressure. I'm going to go. Obviously, I'm a good girl, even if I'm dizzy.
I don't know.
Or just give us
I'll do
a date when you're
something.
starting next week. Then if you
It
don't
won't
do it.
necessarily be the gym. Like it might be a
No,
home
no.
workout. Do you know
Do
what I mean?
home workouts.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do with the
I
little
know,
ones.
yeah.
I never went to a
much
gym.
easier, yeah. Just to ease yourself back in as well, build your
Although Code
confidence
Fitness
back
is the
up.
best gym.
It is. I love it.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It's my favourite gym.
Yeah. But yeah, two little ones. Too little.
But
She is.
bless her. She's not. I could make it work, but it's just more of a job.
Well, some people take them in, so do
I know.
but go at a quieter period.
No, I wouldn't do that because I'd just then
It's
not
not
be
your
able
time.
to focus on working out.
Gotta
But
be selfish.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, first one
Yeah,
done.
I know. Should we just stop it here and then we'll
Yeah.
end up coming up with.
Yeah.
But whoever's listened to this, we don't know where it's going.
We don't know
when, how.
where.
Please comment anything you can relate to,
Yeah.
and follow us on social media.
Yeah.